what we are all one day wanting to see our great country turn into. It is also a great honor for me to have different people from different areas also coming to see the connectivity in what I've been trying to express over the years. The exhibition has got 4 different parts, and I try to take everyone through a journey of what I've been doing in these areas. At the end of the day, I want us to see the connectivity between what we all do as individuals in our personal lives and how we can connect that to real-time physical development for our individuals. This first part begins with my skills as an artist, and everything really goes on that. Architectural projects, which actually just illustrate 2 things. We have projects which are based on architectural renderings, and others are real-time projects which have been realized. And this dovetails also again into the 3rd component, which is graphic design, and that is referring to all our works in imagery, logotypes, brochures, etc. And so the 3rd quatrain is basically the art of design. And last but not the least quatrain 4, is called the dawn of development. And that is really the accumulative quatrain which expresses all the things that we've seen onto our national platform, where we try to describe our nation right from scratch, so that it can be understood and there could grow a better understanding between the citizenry and anybody who has Ghana at heart, because in the maps that are shown there, we are actually seeing all map has got a specific intention. We have the first one, which is more or less advance them, but most importantly of all, the pathway and all the proceedings to be able to get it. But before we do all this, the key was to also break down whatever we're doing so that it can be understood from basic foundation level all the way up to tertiary level. That is why we see a smaller map, which is actually very educational, and that is for the primary schools, for them to also begin to have a better understanding of what we have and where Ghana can be. The rest of them develop into maps for GSS, SSS, for universities, technical institutions, etc. But all of these have to also operate within the law of the land. And this interesting map, which is called I See a Land of Law and Order, tries to bring together the existing laws of the land, but try to put them on location so that we as citizens can also know what we're supposed to do. And the important thing is that we start to get the opportunity to understand and take more interest in our constitution and how we're supposed to behave in the nation. The rest of the maps go through every region or in every sector. So anybody interested in the energy sector can take a map, and if you come around here, you see everything to do with energy, all the opportunities in oil and gas, everything to do with water and the development of dams, both for reservoirs and for energy generation. These maps just express the potential, but it's also based upon deep research. So with this, everybody can see in this region what the potentials are for being get the water. And as we know, upon the waters is directly related to how we also treat our environment. The energy maps are self-explanatory, telling us what is going on with our energy and what we use and how we can have this more. I see a land on the roof. It's actually a map which is just integrating all our transports, airports, railways, bathrooms, and of course, maritime movements. And it just tries to reflect what has been going on and how we can progress in an orderly manner. For the investors, for evident opportunity, and with this map, all the sectors, every area of endeavor have some interest because every region has been represented explaining basic demographics and information, but it's also instructive in giving us a pictorial understanding of locations of what can possibly happen. So it's not only the issue of the resource, but we try to play related to the infrastructure development, both existing and projected. Most importantly, we should understand that these maps have both inspired to make a better understanding in our own process. This map here, advancing, is literally like a vision board for how any government can also start to prioritize in advance. So you see there are priorities in terms of environment, railway commitment, agribusiness, and the whole industrialization process. But the most important is that we are now placing these into real-time physical. Trying to understand what each district actually offers, and we try to also make sure that we give supporting information on what to do next. And each map has got a description of the region and basic information and a lot of coding, so that by the time you have a map of this sort, you can actually know where the investment opportunity is and also advance in a more orderly manner. It is very instructive. It gives you pathways and explains where you have to go for what information. And acting as a strong vision board for all of us to see ourselves on one page. It is broken up into all the districts, and every township is also captured. So you can see here the water region, the eastern region, central, west, and south. The idea of doing this is for all of us to first and foremost appreciate what we have and know what we can do with what we have. There's a strong commitment in the maps, and there's a strong pathway indicating what to do with what we have. Because each map will tell you if you have oil palm, what it can be used for, and how you can get in contact to take it to the next level.
Okay.
Expose of my works my creative works over a period of 40 years, and I'm putting them together as it says retrospective, and at times we all account and see what we've been doing over the times, but at the same time we have to see how it is connected to our real-time development. This is a routine for an artist anyway. He does his exhibition and he shows to the world what he has been doing. Here we're just trying to show the relevance of creativity in our developmental process. It is also showing that we have to understand that everything is connected. I'm an architect, I'm an artist foremost, but I'm also a designer. But in doing so, I'm a musician because I compose. And all of these issues take on concepts, development, organization, putting things together in the right line. And I think that is one of the key areas where we're trying to look at to see how Ghana can also march forward.
How do you think this artwork has contributed overall to the development of the country?
What an exhibition really does is supposed to, first and foremost, bring us together to see what has been going on. Because maybe many things have already happened and their effects have already been seen. But here, just a moment to reflect and see what creativity can do and what has been going on. Because as you can see, many of the things have already even happened already. But the idea is that it's also an opportunity to know how they are made. And I think that's the key thing here. We also should pay attention to how things are made, and we can see ourselves better in the understanding of the issue of buying and selling, but also understanding that some things are also designed and made. There's a thought process behind it, and through that thought process, you can engage different areas of endeavor, and you have to be able to handle all of these things at different levels and come up with a product that can impact.
You said this is a work of about 40 years ago, meaning you've been in the creative industry for a long time now. How would you assess our current creative industry in the country, the current creative industry? Do you think we are growing as an industry, or it's retrogressing?
Clearly, creativity is something very dynamic, and let's understand that we are all creative beings, and that's where the beginning of everything comes. But we are also learning as we are moving, and creativity, as we all know, is now a new word, a new phrase, which is just not a couple of decades away, I may say, has now been incorporated more into our national discourse. But before, maybe it was a bit absent. But apart from it being absent, maybe there was a lack of the understanding of what really, how it will impact. So I'm glad to see now that the word creativity is up, but also we should have time to understand what creative mind really means, and get a better understanding. Otherwise, we can all start being creative in the wrong manner. Because I can describe to you, if you may, what a creative person, what are the characteristics, because we have to understand how it is. Because a creative person is somebody who is going to be thinking out of the box, is going to be innovative, who is going to act out of the norm, but at the same time, he's also not necessarily motivated by money to act. That is one of the key issues of the creative beat. It acts out of that. But at the same time, you have to be somebody who is ready to accept issues. Now, the idea of seeing beyond and being resilient and understanding that what you're going to do can attain a higher height is also very important. And there's a high level of selflessness, but apart from being selfless, you should be conscious of your surroundings. You should have a very high level of sensibility. Sensibility means also understanding that what you're doing can affect people. So all of these things start to master up how creative mind thinks. And I think when we all start to see how things work, we can have a better understanding to develop our nation.
Thank you very much.
The Colombian ambassador to Ghana did speak profoundly of your contributions to the country's development, and that you've developed blueprints that they've all followed and they've used to develop their country. You've been doing this for Ghana for the past 40 years. Has there been any genuine interest from governments, several governments, in terms of using your blueprints to develop the country?
Yes, and I would just like to correct this a bit. It's not as if I've been trying to develop something specifically over 40 years for Ghana. I'm a Ghanaian citizen, and what I'm doing is, as anybody should be doing, also trying to contribute to his quota of development. And in doing so, you also do your things. Everybody has to contribute in some way or the other. Now, at certain junctures, some governments will find it useful to delay or also maybe assimilate or accelerate. And I think it is normally our challenge trying to create that balance between how we accelerate things that are clear and how we stay where we are. But it is clear that development is never static, it's always dynamic. And so I believe strongly that that is why this exhibition is actually dubbed Once, and For All. And I know very well that it's important that we can all see what has been going on, because this thing is all about seeing. And maybe we will be asking that question for a particular answer. But I would also say that it's key that this is about seeing, and as soon as we are all able to see, maybe we can also answer that question better to ourselves. Because maybe we've all not been seeing clearly. And this is a moment for us to all stop, look, and listen.
Okay, Prof, these are very detailed projections for national development. How have you managed, for want of a better word, to stay hidden for so long? I mean, I think this is something we should be really out there.
Yes, it's true that the issue of being hidden is always the key. That's why you're not heard. But again, at times, you are the media. This is not the first time I've been doing a presentation to the media. You've known about what I've been doing for quite a while. I've given press conferences on what I've been doing to the media in general. But it also depends upon how we want to articulate it based upon the circumstances of the nation. So we all have a role to play in how we are going to maintain our success, even our stability as a nation. So the press, journalism plays a very key role because they are the mouthpiece to set the tone.
I see. Which, I don't think it's political leaders, but which governments have you particularly worked with? Because I see you have produced a number of blueprints.
As long as I come to Ghana, I come and I think with all the.
I work with any.
I've been doing periods. I've been doing the previous dispensation MDC. I've been also doing here now doing and I'm more than willing to be contributed. Thank you very much.
Well, I heard somewhere that most of your works over the years, we've seen some around the country presently, but the issue of credit, giving due credit to you that you pioneered them, you brought them up, seems not to ever happen.
Yes, it's because also, that's what I was trying to explain to you about the creative mind. The creative mind has to thrive and develop well. It doesn't thrive in suspicion and creating wrong ambience and trying to also skew things. We move with the flow, and there's a time and there's a season for everything. So let's say that was a season for that, but there will be also a season for others. We're all biblical and we know what that means. Thank you very much.